So what about this? Twofold, having this impeachment trial and then everything that the Biden administration is already doing, sweeping in with this record number of executive orders, seemingly just to reverse anything that the former president did.
Well, this is cancel culture on steroids, Heather and Joe. I mean, really, when you look at it, when you think of the impeachment, it is bogus on the facts because President Trump's going to win on the facts, but it's also bogus because it's unconstitutional. He's a former president. There's nothing in the Constitution that says you can impeach a former president, vice president, or executive officer. So that's all going to go by the way. And Mr. Raskin saying that if you don't show up, we can have a negative inference. By the way, that is antithetical to the American system of justice. So they're bogus in every way. And then on the executive orders, they're trying to do basically rip apart an encyclopedia of successful policies of President Trump. You take foreign policy. He was successful in bringing peace and stability in some parts of the Mideast by normalizing relations between, say, some Arab states and Israel. You could talk about immigration, how Joe Biden's policy already is there. You got amnesty going. You got the economy that's really tanking right now. You've got the tax increases that they're promising. They're talking about re-regulating, expanding regulation. They're going to emasculate military, law enforcement, all of these, and life. Don't forget the pro-life issues. All of these are going so quickly because they are turning hard left very quickly because President Biden is operating like an autodidact.
Right.
He wants to have that authority.
Right. Now, to that point, Congressman, you talk about all of this stuff that's happening. It's almost like we've got the bread and circuses over here distracting Americans. You know, people forget the last time they tried to impeach President Trump. That's when COVID was coming to our shores. Now we should be focused on actually getting this vaccine rolled out. And once again, Democrats are focused on impeaching President Trump. At what point are we going to be able to communicate to the American people that all this concern about COVID has very little to do with their lives and everything to do with their unhealthy obsession with all things Donald J. Trump?
Well, Joe, I couldn't have said it any better. I mean, you just laid it out there because that's exactly what this is. This is a distraction. And they have no plan. Their plan is far weaker than President Trump's plan. He would have had 200 million doses out there as well. Don't forget the vaccine itself was something that he put together. And this notion that they're going to add $2 trillion in some COVID relief package when we have $1 trillion sitting there that has never even been spent, that needs to be reallocated and repurposed for people who are really suffering, small businesses, and get them going again, if you're going to do that. But they don't care about that. They are so, how would you like to be the Democrats and know that Donald Trump lives in your head every moment of every day? That's where the Democrats are.
Yeah, it's definitely not unifying the country, which is what President Biden said was the theme of his speech on Inauguration Day. But his actions speak differently at this point. Congressman Biggs, thank you so much for joining us. Hope you have a great rest of the weekend.
You too. Thanks.